Joseph Healy left unity. In your speech, you talk about your Irish heritage, and you sent also a precise message to Theresa May about EU citizens. What do you ask her?
I said to her that it's not acceptable for her to use EU citizens as pawns in some sort of chess game that she's having with the EU. The rights of EU citizens living in this country, many of them for decades, have to be absolutely protected. It's an essential point of human rights and dignity.
How could she use EU citizens as pawns? What's the game?
I think the game is, she has said it herself, that she wants to protect the rights of UK citizens living in the EU. For example, nearly 1 million British citizens living in Spain, and she wants to try and trade their rights living in the EU against the rights of EU citizens living here.
And what about the attitude of the Labour Party?
I am very worried about the attitude of the Labour Party, because I think that following the Brexit vote, when they will have seen that some of their heartlands voted to leave, particularly in the Midlands and the North, some of the MPs may be inclined to move towards a position of opposing free movement, and they may support that position in any talks with the EU.
Now all people here are talking about the EU as an instrument to defend the diversity, to fight against racism. But Europe is also Fortress Europe. The EU really made a deal with Turkey to stop refugees, asylum seekers.
Well, of course, we are opposed to that deal. We think that, the EU has clearly put up barriers on all fronts against EU refugees coming into the EU. But on the other hand, it must be pointed out that Britain has not taken a single Syrian refugee. They're talking about possibly taking 3,000 children, whereas Germany has taken 1 million people. So, it's the height of hypocrisy for the UK to be condemning the EU about refugees.
But Austria, Hungary, some former Yugoslav countries, and even France somehow closed the frontiers. Okay, it's not only Britain the problem.
No, the problem in Britain is that there is a mentality that you can just pull up the drawbridge and it's all EU's problem. I mean, I recognise the fact that there are various countries in Europe, some of them led by quite right-wing governments like Hungary, who see migration as an existential crisis. But we oppose that totally. We believe that the EU should be open to refugees, but the solution is not the Brexit case of pulling up the drawbridge and pretending that nothing's happening.